Hello, it is movie time on Encore. Top of the bill today. They are hustling their way to a sackful of Oscar nominations. As American Hustle finally opens in French cinemas, we're hearing from star Christian Bale. Looking for literary salvation in World War II as Markus Zusak's novel The Book Thief gets a big screen adaptation. And Luc Besson's first foray into animation will be searching for love with The Boy with the Cuckoo Clock Heart. So let's get the show started. And the lady who will be running us through all that and more is Iris Brey. Very nice to see you.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us. Now, we're going to get going with one of the Oscar frontrunners. It's got style, it's got swagger, it's got truly amazing wigs. It is American Hustle.
Did you ever have to find a way to survive? And you knew your choices were bad, but you had to survive.
We were so successful for so long because we kept it just small enough.
If you're that successful, how come you wound up in this room with me right now?
This is Agent DeMasso placing $75,000 into this briefcase for Mayor Carmine Polito.
We gotta get over on all these guys. That's what we need to be thinking about right now.
Right then, there have been a lot of comments about this film being very stylish, as you've just seen there, but Iris, perhaps ultimately not really about anything all that much. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I actually love the hair, the style, the music, the 70s, you know, the sort of Scorsese influence, as well as the humor is great, but really the plot is quite thin. It's loosely based on the FBI app scam operation, where two con artists were actually arrested by this FBI agent, and then he forced them into helping him catch all the crooked politicians. So, you know, not much depth, I think, for an Oscar win.
Okay, well, it has already won pretty big at the Golden Globes, and it's up for 10 Oscars. It's a leading frontrunner there. Why do you think it's getting so much buzz?
I think it's thanks to the actors. Actually, the director, David Russell, is known for creating those great roles. Christian Bale actually won Best Supporting Role for The Fighter a couple of years ago, and you might remember Jennifer Lawrence last year for Silver Linings Playbook. She won Best Actress. So, you know, I think his secret is that he really works well with his actors and always works with the same. So let's actually hear from the leading man, Christian Bale.
With David's sets, you know, they're very raw and very spontaneous, and so you better know your stuff because, hey, he won't shout cut. He'll just keep rolling, and what was half a page, you're now doing a 7-minute scene, and so you best know your stuff, you know, about it. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that a great deal, and there's a lot of improvisation, therefore, that comes up, and it's a wonderful script as it is. It didn't need it, but all these happy accidents really help to add to the spontaneity and the reality of a piece.
Okay, some interesting insights there from Christian Bale about how they actually made this film. Iris, I don't know if I was entirely impressed by all of the acting performances. Christian Bale was very strong. What did you think about the actors?
I thought Jennifer Lawrence was great in this type of trashy housewife, but
screechy, wasn't she? And amazing hair in every scene.
I absolutely adored her. I thought Amy Adams was maybe not as great as we expected, but of course Christian Bale is really the star of this movie. You know, he gained 40 pounds and became quite ugly, even though I know that you think he's quite cute.
There were just a couple of moments when I saw the old Christian Bale, but yeah,
but, you know,
he makes himself a bit hideous for this, doesn't he?
Yes, and Hollywood loves, you know, those performances when actors really actually transform themselves. So I think he might have a chance to win Best Actor.
Okay, well, we'll have to find out, won't we? Let's move, though, from hustlers to thieves. The Book Thief was a best-selling novel by Markus Zusak about a young girl in Nazi Germany who finds an escape from the horrors of war in a love of reading.
My name is Liesl Memminger. I don't have a family or even a place to call home. I never understood the meaning of the word hope, but I'm about to meet the people who would change all that.
Come, meet your new parents.
Your first book. Are you sure this is yours?
It wasn't always mine.
Can't you even read yet? Go on, read one word.
I'm not such a good reader myself, you know. We will have to help each other out.
Now, Iris, were you touched by this child's eye view of war from director Brian Percival?
I was, and I think what was really interesting is that the movie really focuses on how she learns how to read, and as she's, learning how to decipher all these letters, she's also learning how to question the ideology in Germany at the time. And thanks to Max, who's a Jewish boy who is hiding in her house. So I found that quite touching. The book was actually released in some countries as more of an older children's book, and I think the movie will probably touch more maybe adolescents or young adults.
Okay, and let's talk about the actors. There's Aussie Oscar-winner Geoffrey Rush in there, British actress Emily Watson, they're the parents. The main character, though, played by a French-Canadian girl who's a relative unknown, so lots of international things going on there. I have to say, I find all of their versions of German accents a little bit jarring. It's a problem for me in this film.
It was a problem for me too, but you know what I think is interesting though is that he went all over the world to try to find the best actors for these parts. And so the young girl is Sophie Nélisse. She's from Canada. You might have seen her in a movie called Monsieur Lazare that came out 2 years ago, where she was already playing a young girl learning how to read, but this time with a very thick Canadian accent.
Her natural French-Canadian accent.
Yes, and I think, she will probably become a rising star. And then the other big actor here is Geoffrey Rush. And actually, France 24, Lisa Nicholson was really lucky to meet him at the Chicago Film Festival. And here's what he has to say about why all the Australian actors are becoming so huge in Hollywood.
I think there's something about being on a little agar dish down in the southern side of the hemispheres, working up your own energy and your own beliefs. When you make that kind of journey, you go, okay, get ready, be ready for this. So you always know you're going into the big international ring, and you've got to come out punching.
Okay, well, we've got another adaptation for you now, and another film that's more for the younger viewers, but with perhaps a Tim Burton-style twist for the grown-ups. This is The Boy with the Cuckoo Clock Heart. It's produced by France's Luc Besson, who we know best for directing Leon and The Fifth Element and producing Taken 2. Iris, this one also started life as a storybook, quite different from The Book Thief, though.
Yes, absolutely. So this time the story is about Jack, who's born on the coldest day of the year, and he's born with a frozen heart. So the midwife changes his heart for a cuckoo clock, but there are only 3 rules he must abide by. So never touch the hands of the clock, never lose his temper, and of course never fall in love. And so he's going to meet this young Miss Acacia, who's going to change his life. So Mathias Malzieu wrote the book. He even made a successful music album out of it, this imaginaire. And then finally he had the chance to meet with Luc Besson, who made his dream come true by producing this animation movie.
And do you think that this will appeal to adults?
I think it might. I mean, as you said, it reminds us of A Corpse Bride by Tim Burton. But I think, not like a film like Miyazaki, who's more for a wider audience. I think this one is really more for children. Even though, there is a fan base thanks to the book and the music album, and also 2 great French singers are doing the voices in the film, Olivier Ruiz and Grand Corps Malade.
He's actually a rapper, which is quite unusual, isn't it?
Absolutely, which is great. And so both actors say actually that there are some Shakespearean overtones to this movie.
J'ai perdu mes lunettes, enfin j'ai pas voulu les mettre, elles me font une drôle de tête.
It's part Don Quixote, part Greek myth, part Shakespearean.
Yes, it's a romantic western, like rock and roll Shakespeare. We can use these kinds of words.
Okay, well, we're going to turn our attention now to a story that has had all of Hollywood talking this week. At the weekend, Mia Farrow's adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, accused her former stepfather, Woody Allen, of sexually assaulting her when she was 7 years old. Woody Allen has strongly refuted the claim and added that a thorough investigation at the time found no credible evidence to support the claim. Iris, this story really has dominated the film news agenda for several days. How's Hollywood reacting?
People are going crazy on Twitter. But actually the only person who's really taking a stand here is Lena Dunham, who plays in Girls, who also produces the show. And she takes the side of Dylan's side. So her first tweet said, To share in this way is courageous, powerful, and generous. And then her second tweet said, most victims never speak up, most never feel they can. These are not stories we tell for fun, attention, or revenge.
And we've also had some of Woody Allen's recent actors responding as well. Kate Blanchett from Blue Jasmine saying it's obviously been a long and painful situation for the family and she hopes they find some sort of resolution. Alec Baldwin, also from Blue Jasmine, a bit unhappier to be asked for a response, wasn't he? He was saying, you're mistaken if you think it's a place for me or any outsider in this family issue, but certainly an issue that probably will keep going for some time. Well, that is just about all we've got time for on the show, but just before we leave you, this week we have also had the sad and shocking news of the death of Philip Seymour Hoffman. The Oscar-winning actor was found dead on Sunday in New York. Iris, remind us of why he was so revered as an actor.
Well, you know, every one of his performances was so unique. He never did the same thing twice. And he did a great performance for the movie Capote that we all remember. He got an Oscar for that. And I also really loved him in the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley. You know, on Facebook, outpours of love for this actor who was really, truly one of the greatest of his generation.
And like you say, never played the same part twice, did he? Well, that does bring us to the end of this week's show. Thanks once again to Iris for all of your thoughts and insights. And thanks very much to you for watching as well. We're going to leave you with some of Philip Seymour Hoffman's best-known film appearances. See you next time. There we go.
Hello, my name is Truman Capote.
Is there something frightening to you about the cause's travels into the past?
Frightening?
Yes.
No.
What scares you so much about traveling into the past, sir?